Yes, hello. Yeah, it should be. Yeah, I've got to do a video. It's 10 o'clock. I've been like, can you hear my dog snoring enough times now? But I quite like it, man. It's relaxing. I've been so tired now today. But yeah, like I said, I had to do a video every day. I mean, technically, I did one this morning at 1:30. Yeah. Another reason I'm tired, I stayed up. I had to get that video out on, you know, on Gay J linking up again with AKA Skins and what that means for the heavyweight division. I'll tell you what it means. Fear. Because everyone knows they're not going to fight a bummy Gay J. You know, a nonsense roadman Gay J. They're gonna fight the confident. You know, aggressive Gay J of the Skins years. Anyway, this is not going to be about Gay J. So there's a preview. I'm going to just have a quick early look, you know, at 3 fights these weekends. I guess you'd call them big fights. Deontay Wilder coming back at Robert Helenius. Okay, number 1. Number 2, Devin Haney Kambosos. I think it's this weekend. I'm a bit shocked. I just almost didn't hear about anything about it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not surprising, considering it was whitewashing the first time, but I'll preview that early. Then then the women's super fight, the GWOAT, the greatest wig of all time, facing R. Savvy Marshall. All right, Huey Fury's next baby mother, or first baby mother, if you want. So. Deontay Wilder's come back. What is it? A year since he fought Tyson. So he's got smoked by Tyson, you know. But he's always got heart. That Wilder, I'll give him that. He's full of nonsense. Wanting to be pregnant, and I'm twerking, you know, making up all those dumbass excuses. I can't barely bother to remember them, but you know, all this kind of stuff about egg weights and just in ref and Mark Breeden drugging him. I mean, it goes on. It was pathetic. I mean, I'm too tired to even remember. Okay. But yeah, it was nonsense. So, you know, Deontay's coming back now. He's obviously had 2 stoppages at the hands of Fury. Before that, he was losing to Ortiz, I think, on points. And then he caught Ortiz. He was quite clearly losing on points. He caught him in a big shot. That's kind of a style anyway. It's not really like unusual. You know, don't win the rounds, but wait to land the bombs. Brazil in a 1 round, and then Fury got the split decision, a controversial split decision. So, you know, the question is, so he's fighting Helenius. He's a decent fighter. We'll move on to him in a minute. But right now we're thinking, well, I mean, what happens if, I mean, how much has he got left? That's the main thing, you know? Deontay Wilder. People can get wrecked by bad defeats, and, you know, both them fights he gave his all and got found out. He got stopped conclusively, I believe, in the first. You know, there was nothing wrong with that stoppage. The guys were wasted and taking shots. And obviously the second one, yeah, because someone gave a better fight in the sense they dropped Tyson, but, you know, he got ironed flat out and got beaten up, basically. Was it 11 rounds? I think it was 11 rounds, that fight. So that's quite a beating. I come back from 2 beatings, basically. At the age of 36, there's a question there. And people, you know, it's basically, I would have always, you know, and still now, you know, expect him to win against Helenius, but, you know, he has struggled against some lesser fighters, you know. Like Johan Duhopos went 11 rounds with him. Now, obviously, Duhopos stopped Helenius, oddly, quite clearly. Yeah. Deontay Wilder also knocked out Gerald Washington. Gerald Washington also stopped Helenius in 8 rounds. And both were quite conclusive knockouts or stoppages. So, you know, if you're going to go on those 2 data points, you'd expect Wilder to win. And I do expect him to win, really. You know, because Helenius, he's a decent fighter. There's no doubt about that. But he's, I don't know, he's flat to deceive. He's had some good results, you know. If you look through his record, I think he's a decent amateur as well. So, you know, at first, he stopped Lehman Brewster, admittedly a bit short one, you know. Gregory Tony, isn't he the brother of... Gregory Tony was unbeaten at the time, but he wasn't that great, you know. Attila Levin, another sort of guy that had a reasonable record. Samuel Peter, the ex-world champion, he knocked him out in 9. That was a good win, even though Peter was probably over the hill, but still, that's a good win. Serhij Ljakovic stopped him in 9. So at this stage, he's looking pretty good. And it's 2011, remember. Then he fought Derek Chisora in Helsinki. Now, we all know Chisora is pretty game, but he loses at top level. Now, Helenius got a split decision, but I remember watching that fight. I did think Chisora won it by 2 rounds. Most people would say that they believe Chisora deserved that victory. I actually agree with him. Which kind of took the shine off him, really. And then Helenius beat a few fights later Michael Sprott on points. Michael Sprott at this point had lost. His record included 19 losses. So, it's not that great to go the distance with a guy who's had 19 losses and Sprott gets stopped. Let me see at the stage. He did get stopped by, obviously getting stopped later on quite a lot, but I forgot that Michael Sprott fought Gay J. He got ironed out in 1. I totally forgot about that fight. It's funny that, isn't it? Let's see. I'm going down here. Can't find the Helenius fight. Anyway, he had been stopped a few times, right? Sprott, Danny Williams, Matt Skellington, right? Danny Williams again. Cody Saunders done him in a round. Wayne Llewellyn stopped him in 3 rounds. I forget these fights, man. Harry Senior stopped. So Sprott had been stopped a few times, and Helenius, who then would have been regarded as top prospect, couldn't stop him. So he seems to, and that since then, that's when he seems to have, he almost gone back a level. Stopped by Johan Dohapas, who, as we know, got stopped by Wilder in 11. Dillian White, he lost a unanimous decision to White. He didn't look good in that fight. Helenius. He's like he almost didn't. He wouldn't try in that fight. It's like he didn't look fit, as I remember. He then bounces back a bit, knocking out Erkan Tepe in 8 rounds. That's not a bad win. I mean, Tepe is nothing special. And then he gets stopped by Jared Washington, who isn't special either. In 8 rounds, and who got ironed out by Deontay Wilder. By this time, people think he's a bit short. He was a big underdog against Adam Kaunaski, which Kaunaski. He's a game fighter. It was quite fun to watch, but he's still a fat piglet, And there's always something wrong with piglets like that, You can never fight your ability if you're a fat pig. So Helenius stopped Kaunaski twice. It was considered a big upset, first one, and there we go. He's now fighting Wilder. So it's a weird one. So Wilder's Helenius has won his last 3 by stoppage. But 2 of them are against the same opponent, and Wilder, has won 1 against Ortiz, although he lost almost every round before the stoppage, and lost twice by stoppage to Tyson Fury. The same fight. It's hard to read, and these guys are big. I mean, all I will say is that it seems that everyone knows Wilder's thing is his power, but he's also game. He's quite gutsy. He doesn't stop trying. Okay, he's not one of them guys that crumbles. When he doesn't get his way, he's not a bully. He'll carry on trying. Do you know what I mean? He's not one of them big punchers like people who say that about Foreman when he's young. He was a bully, and Tyson was a bully, and when he wouldn't get his way, they'd sort of. I mean, I don't really agree with the Foreman one. I actually just think that the Ali fight was a bit rigged, I'm afraid. We'll get on to that. It's another video. I do think there was something weird going on there. It was set up a bit. And but anyway, Tyson is a classic on-top bully, He starts to foul. He was still pretty game. He only really quit against McBride. But, when he doesn't get his own way, he sort of, I don't know, man, he sort of melts a bit. So Deontay Wilder is not like that. He's not like that. Helenius is a strange one because he's had some half decent results. If his mind's there, he's a good opponent. I don't know. I mean, he's a big underdog, right? I think Wilder's 5. Helenius is 5-1 outsider. That seems about right. I having said that, I do think Helenius has a chance. Yeah. if he got his right head on, he concentrates, and he concentrates on landing the shots and whilst avoiding the other shots, and he's still got enough power to hurt Wilder and stop him. I would say it's 5-1, maybe a bit long. Maybe it should be 3-1, 4-1. I don't know, but I still believe Wilder's got enough left to catch him at some stage. Yeah, but I would not be shocked with a Helenius victory. Put it that way, which is what. So 5-1 could be a bit, could be a long. I'm predicting like with my life on the line kind of thing. I would go for Wilder, but it wouldn't be comfortable. I wouldn't want to put my life on the line because Wilder's erratic. I mean, he's a one-punch guy basically, and we don't know how much has been taken out of him by Fury. So yeah, I think it's an interesting fight. I do think Wilder should come through. Eventually, will clock Helenius. But I'd like to see a Helenius victory. I quite like the Nordic Nightmare. I'll tell you what, man. He doesn't look like he's juicing. He's one of the few ones. His body just doesn't look like a juicer's body at all. And he can tell you, he can whack that football, man. If you see that video of him punching the football, it's nuts, man. Okay, next fight. So we got who's the next one? Kambosos, Haney. I mean, I can't even. This has just come round really quickly. Not only that. But it's quite, I mean, obviously it was the old contractual rematch type situation, but I mean, it was a bit of a whitewashing, wasn't it? The first fight. So, a lot of people say, well, I can't see how it'd be any different. How's it going to be any different, man? I mean, I think he lost 10 at least of the rounds, I think. Some people would say we lost every round. And, having said that, and he was in his backyard. Having said that, I will say this for Kambosos. He was a terrible fight. I really don't think he boxed a worse fight than that. He didn't put pressure. He just didn't. The thing is, Haney looked about 2 weight divisions above and juicing, whereas Kambosos actually had quite a normal natural physique. He may not be juicing, amazingly. I don't know, man. It's an odd rematch. I would just say this. I can't believe Kambosos would do worse. Put it that way. Unless he gets just caught and knocked out. But I really don't believe he could do worse. I expect a unanimous decision win for Haney in a largely unexciting fight. Haney's just not that exciting. I wouldn't pay to watch that guy. Why would I? Why would I? I pay to boxing to have excitement or even potential excitement, Whereas a guy like Haney or Guevara, you just know you're not going to get any excitement. Zero. I don't know why people pay to watch these bums. Well, they're not bums, but they're so boring, man. If everyone boxed like that, no one would watch boxing. That's all there is to it. Kambosos at least is a warrior. Yeah, the Lopez win would have flattered him in the sense that, I mean, it was still a split decision, but in the sense that Lopez was not as good as his win over what's his face, Lomachenko, would make it seem. I mean, I think Lomachenko just had a bad day at the office. I expect to see Devin the nightmare bore Haney, just win on points unanimously. As I said, Kambosos can't do worse. I mean, I thought he had a chance first off just because of his homeland and pressure and blah, blah. But as the fight came earlier, I thought, nah, I'm wrong. I think Haney's going to win easily on points. And he did. Yeah. And then we got the female super fight of the century. We got Claressa. Throw glitter of superstardom everywhere I set foot, according to Adam Smith. What a fool. Like I said, I wouldn't recognise if I was in the street. I go, look at that ugly woman and carry on walking. That's all, How about her neighbours don't even know who she is? I mean, it's all this superstardom stuff in women's boxing is a joke. You go around, right? How many people, if you had, this is meant to be a global superstar according to Adam Smith, right? Let's say you went to the UK, which is a place where people, boxing's quite high up in the pecking order, And you went round. How many people do you think, with a picture of Claressa Shields, right? And you went around and said, who's this? Who's this? Who's this? To everyone you met. How many thousands or tens of thousands or more people, would you have to go through until someone went, oh yeah, that's Clarissa Shields? Most boxing fans wouldn't be able to recognise her. I don't know, man. I reckon you have to walk through like about 1 million people before you find someone who goes, oh yeah, that's Clarissa Shields. Okay, millions a bit too much, but I don't know, man. It wouldn't surprise me if like you had to go for 100,000 people, and this is meant to be a global superstar. What what did she do? The brown version of Brad Pitt. I mean, it's just a joke, man. The exaggerate, the hyperbole these idiots put in. Anyway, on to the fight. I'm hoping for Savvy, to bash up Shields, the greatest wig of all time, put her away, and then she can sail off to the sunset and mate with Huey Fury to build the greatest heavyweight champion of the world. Now, obviously, the big deal is Savannah Marshall at that point, the greatest wig, but that's a long time ago. That's in the amateurs. I'm hoping that Marshall. I mean, I look at Shields. I think she's terrible. She's just really bad. She throws a lot of punches. They've got no power in them. They're not that well thrown. They're not that accurate. I just don't see what's good about her. Apart from, I mean, like you said about all of women's boxing, yeah. At least Savvy Marshall can punch. Okay, I mean, I can see like it's 10-2s, right? Remember the women boxing, so you can easily see Clarissa Shields just throwing loads of punches and landing more and winning on points, and that's probably to me the most likely. I'm hoping I'm wrong, obviously. I'm hoping that I haven't seen the Marshall Savannah fight, the amateur one, but it's so long ago anyway. I don't know if you get anything out of it, but I'd just love to see that the greatest wig get knocked out by Savvy. That's basically it. That's all there is to it. It's not out of. She could win on points as well because some of them women fights go the distance. Savvy's like the exception, but she won on points to the amateurs. If you think about it, there's only 7 more rounds. And the amateurs, did they fight 3-3s, the women's? That's good. I'm going to check that out 1 minute. Well, that's interesting. It's 4-2s. So we're actually just doing 6 more rounds. I wouldn't read too much into that at all, if anything. I mean, I'll read a little bit. It means that 10 years ago she had the ability, and she is taller, and I assume she's got a longer reach, to outbox the greatest wig in 4 rounds. So, So maybe despite the fact that they'll put the usual nonsense. Oh, it's either Savvy by KO or Marshall on points. The only thing I can't see is the feather-fisted Marshall stopping Savannah. Savannah, she's a sweet girl, but she got a name of like a porn actress, isn't it? Savannah Marshall. It sounds like some wrong'un, whose favourite trick is taking 9 Corys at the same time or something sick like that. And I don't want to talk about that or think about it. So there we go. That's a quick look at the 3 alleged big fights this weekend. After the weigh-in, I'll do another one. Because in the weigh-ins, you can tell a lot out of sometimes. Sometimes you can tell 9. Other times they're really important. Anyway, peace, guys. Sleep well. Yeah, I've got to get this thing out.